Susan&SoullasHomestead. Please like, subscribe, share, follow, all that fun stuff. You never know what you're going to find. There's a lot to see, a lot to laugh, perhaps even learn. Just giving you a quick tour of all the beds that we set up. Sage, hollyhock, all these flowers and grasses which we put by the bees in our walkways. Yarrow. The bees are cranking. I'm not going to stay here long, only because they may be pre-swarming and sometimes they can be a little pissy.
I got chased earlier.
Yeah.
Bad.
And now we're splitting up. We split up a lot of our stuffs, and all these trails are going to be lined with flowers, sages, yarrows. We've got maximilians, and of course,
Strawberries.
the star, dandelion. Dandelion is your friend. We've planted them all through the yard, and it's delightful to share them with nature and blow them around with your love.
We just harvested some roots too, making it.
This is all going to be mulched. This is an area really to work on, but it's all going to be a walking path with whatever we can grow. We're going to try basil, chives, oregano, all things that we find in the property, and let the bees and the pollinators. It's not just about the bees left to come. Here's the highest point of our property. As you can see, many things. The nebula snail pond filter. It's high up, so we can pump water here and then gravity feed it and circulate it through the rest of the property. The rain pond and back in.
Duckweed.
Oh yeah, and duckweed grows great. It's incredible nutritional value. It filters the water. The fish will eat it. Chickens will eat it. Love a duckweed today. These are the valves that go down to our rain pond and back to the sump pump. We have two circulating and another back up to the sump pump.
Chicken snacks.
Here's all the chicken snacks. We plan on doing a lot more of this. Perhaps even utilizing some of the aquaponic equipment and hanging them from the posts. As you can see, it's kind of everything was prototype the last year or two, but it really came together. Now we got the chickens, and we're going to do a really good upgrade on the chicken coop, or really the cage. The coop is okay.
Delivery.
Get a little chicken hole action while we're here. You can see. Got some braver chickens than other.
Go share with your friends.
We'll do a lot more in-depth on how we did it and how we use that delicious black earth that we throw the compost in every year. We take the first 2-3 inches off after we cool it down and add it to our compost. Just give a little tour. We're not going to walk through the whole thing just to the backs, but here's the back area. You could see our rhombus, the heart chakra. This is the majority of the property, which we really just keep natural. Any of the trees that were fallen, we didn't burn up, especially the pines. Here's some future tables we're gonna make. We're gonna work a little hard. Add some of these stumps. And here's our other hive, Carniola Italian mix. Same thing, it's gonna be the warmest day in the 70s, and we think they're doing some pre-swarm flights, so I don't wanna get too close. We've been chased a few times, which is a good sign. We're gonna get in there and do an inspection soon, and hopefully, if we see queen cells, we're gonna do a split. And then have 2 extra hives. In the future, that tree house is getting updated, and it's going to be a bee house, tree house. We're going to make a glass ceiling and have an observation hive and let them live up there in the winter time. Is the sacred rhombus. It's good to have sacred energies and divine insights and just places you can think a little different. Here's our heart chakra, which is going great. Eventually, maybe even in about a year or two, we'll be able to tie it together, and it'll be a heart chakra cave aligned with the sun at certain times. We always come in here and we're grateful for each other, our love, our homestead. You could do it with just a little spot, a little bench. It doesn't have to be this elaborate. There's the Sasquatch seating area, and there's another hive. We'll do an inspection of that hive too. Unfortunately, it died. We think that it went over and fed on like commercial pesticides or something. It was thriving just like the other hives you've seen.
Like overnight.
Yeah, it was terrible.
All the bees.
Their proboscises, which their tongue was sticking out. If you see the bunch of dead bees in front of your hive and their proboscis, bee tongue is sticking out and they're dead, usually means that they're poisoned. They were exposed to some sort of contaminant. Here's a new little area. We moved this beautiful little red maple. She's going to come back wonderfully. And we have a whole field of elderberry that's going behind our little U. Have some more sacred fires this year with our new thing. And once again, that's the back property that we really try not to do anything with. We made a bunch of trails in the future. This property can have 2 horses, and we're going to make it comfortable for at least something that we can have a relationship with and use its poo. Here's the U. Another little area we like to sit, especially when it's light raining out or after we did a bunch of raking.
So those lilies come.
And wait till you see, if you look at some of our earlier videos, we have incredible lilies that grow 5-6 feet high. This has been a very popular video of ours lately, the Bleeding Hearts. Wonderful early flowering plant. Beautiful. Send an image to your love today. We're going to take a peek now. We've been doing some cleanup. The aquaponics center. Since here's a back view, we'll go in there next. And the new solar array. There will be a whole update and review of our whole system and how it works and what we recommend. But we did a bunch of cleaning out of the beds. This is like our flower area when we first come into the garden. It's full of echinacea, bee balm. We plant some sunflowers, valerian, hollyhock. And it's just delightful to see, especially when we sit on our bench and reflect on all our blessings. Here's another one. We're cleaning this out. That's strawberries. We're gonna have a corner. You know what? Let's check in the greenhouse and we'll walk around. We've been splitting up this valerian. We only had 1 or 2, and now we keep splitting it up every year. Wonderful plant. Here's our castor beans, which are getting ready for going in front of our green giants. We broke up our chives. No, these were chives from seeds. Here's our favorite tomato, some sunflowers that we grew from last year, all this chamomile. Most of it came from the crack right outside where the chamomile was. It grew in the rocks. Here's all our favorite tomatoes that we grew from seed. Elephant ear that we overwintered. And here's some lettuces. We're gonna start planting some of this stuff hopefully in the next week or 2. And here's our little blueberry patch. We bought 4 of them last year and they kind of died or didn't do as well, but these 2 did better. And then we found out you gotta add that for good blueberries. I don't know. Here's a bunch of basil. There's horseradish. And it really helped us start. And soon we've cleaned out a lot of these beds. We've decided to make some lettuce beds and really utilize the knowledge that we learned and grow what we need, what we want. Sometimes when you start growing, you get all these seeds, you're like, wow, that would be cool, that would be cool. Are you going to use it? How hard is it to grow?
Sunflowers look great. We started those inside in the grow room.
Yeah, those are antidepressant sunflowers. If you can and you have some indoor lights, always try to grow some sunflowers, especially right before the end of the winter when you're just jonesing for some beauty. And then you can bring them out on the warm days and watch. The pollinators will be like, wow, a sunflower. We shouldn't have these for months. Different colors, and we'll save these seeds and replant them. Most of these actually grew aquaponically, and then we dumped them in the water. This is another good trick. These beds before they were using were great to kind of seeds, so we can pull these out and gift these wonderful elderberry plants. This is going to be the corner. It's going to be full of corn. And here's a few different types of strawberries from early to late. We'll be repairing this and expanding this fall boy. And then from there, the other side is going to be all our tomatoes, potatoes, garlic, onions, and this is where our herbs like lemongrass, chives, rosemary, sage, oregano. And these two beds will be the beds for tomatoes and peppers. Oh, and this is, like I say, I was going to get rid of this, but you wouldn't believe how many things grow inside this and are so easy to pull up and use as a free plant. We'll just take a quick trip through the greenhouse before we finish up in the aquaponics. Oh, we already did the greenhouse. So sorry. Let's go to the aquaponics. I didn't finish my coffee this morning. Nice thing now is the weather's getting good. We can open the doors and soon we'll open up a wall or two of this. The koi fish are just loving life, provide the nutrients and the growth for most of our plants.
We feed them an all-organic diet, chicken's eggs and the greens, and we generate worms there in the compost in our worm bin.
And food waste or organic vegetable waste from a juice bar.
Pulp from juice bar.
So everything is really growing incredibly. As you can see, our vision of the overhanging garden of honeysuckles is coming together. We're going to ventilate this some more. But right now, whenever we walked in for the last week or so, all we smelled are delicious honeysuckles. Our passion flowers all got top dressed. They're doing incredibly, and we just moved this one down because it's really a nice one. We had it grown aquaponically, but with the levels of the water, it's a little tough. Here's our ark where we take our water hyacinth for our laundromat water filter. All our grapes are really growing in. We got to trim them back, but we're trying to figure out what we're going to do
Grapes already.
about these two tanks. That Page Restaurant in Sag Harbor, the owner was grateful enough to gift us a bunch of more tanks and from his aquaponics system. So we're going to set them up here to have a tilapia tank and a shrimp tank. If you look at some of our other videos of our indoor tank, we want to be able to feed them as a protein source and a little treat for everybody else. Probably the chickens, maybe even the cats. We're going to move this whole manifold, but this is a quick thing how it all flows to the different parts of the property, underground, and then gravity feeds back to our living waterfall filter. It's full of philodendrons, different types of elephant here. You can see it's incredible. Papyrus. We tried a lot of different plants, but these plants do particularly well. And wonderful, easy way to clone. You just cycle the water from your pond. These are plants that we're going to be installing in an aquaponics spot for Page Restaurant as a little give back. We tried to pick more darker tails for the lower area where it's less, and we're going to be putting some philodendrons. If you look some of our other videos about our aquarium, that's what we use as our filter, and it is an incredible filter. You drop those roots and let them get down in the water. Here's another view of the water cycling through, and then every now and then it gets pumped from the holding tank, from the rain tank.
These look good. We just put these in here today.
They look really good. And one thing that Eric recommended to us, which we agree, is these little pods. We had to tie them up to get them on there, but I think it really does help. It not only has, and they're organic, but it keeps their little root systems going, and then they really flourish. And the towers we're going to install them in, it would, like these towers right here, you pry them apart and put them in there. It'll be a lot easier. Everybody's doing well. Here's our this year's wall of tomatoes that we started growing in the winter time. Already had some tomatoes. Citrus tree. Here's some more of our cuttings and everything that we did. So when we walk in, this whole area is going to be passion flowers.
We have a flower up here.
Like that one.
Flower.
There was a flower up there already. We cleaned out this area. This is like where we stretch and sit sometimes, kind of leave it. Philodendrons and all our little earth boxes. These will probably go outside. They will grow over the winter, double. And we'll keep you posted. Everything's coming together on the property and with our experience and knowledge here, and we hope to share a lot more long-form, informative videos on how we did stuff here. Plus a lot of silly cat videos and bird videos and fish eating my finger. So have a fantastic day. And I don't know, grow some aquaponics today.